So you're thinking about building an app, and you want to use AI to do it. That's awesome. But there's a huge decision you have to make right at the start. Progressive web app, or PWA, versus a true native app. The choice seems pretty straightforward, but there are some major hidden traps that these AI tools, well, they're just not going to tell you about. I mean, this is the dream, isn't it? This is the promise that's being sold everywhere. Just type out what you want, and boom, a fully working app just appears out of thin air. It almost feels like technical skills are becoming a thing of the past.
And look, that dream is kinda real. The tech is amazing, but the reality of what happens after the AI does its magic is way more complicated. The choice you make right at the beginning between PWA and native has massive, and I mean massive, implications for your costs, your control, and your security down the road.
Okay, let's really get into this whole app-building dream. The appeal is just undeniable, right? You can take an idea, describe it to an AI, and have a working app in minutes. It's instant gratification, and you don't have to know a single thing about code or servers or databases. But to really get the trade-offs here, we need to be crystal clear on what we're actually talking about.
So on one side, you have a progressive web app, a PWA. Think of it like a supercharged website. It can feel like a real app, you can even install it on your phone, but here's the key. It lives and runs on someone else's servers. On the other side, you have a native app. This is the real deal, built from the ground up specifically for iOS or for Android, which gives it full, direct access to your phone's camera, GPS, you name it. So the very first illusion that these AI platforms love to sell you is cost. They make it seem like going the PWA route is just infinitely cheaper. But this is where the long-term reality starts to bite back hard.
You see an offer like this, right? $50 a month, and it looks like a total no-brainer. For a tiny subscription fee, you get this slick, sophisticated app up and running. You compare that to the thousands you think it costs to hire developers for a native app, and the choice just seems obvious.
But now, watch what happens when you zoom out and look at the total cost over, say, 5 years. That little subscription fee becomes this relentless, ongoing expense that just keeps going up. As you get more users, your bill gets bigger. And the platform, they can jack up the prices whenever they want. And what are you going to do? You're locked in. A native app, yeah, it has a higher cost to get started, but it's a one-time thing. It's fixed. And after that, you control your costs completely.
And you know, that whole high upfront cost thing, it's pretty much a myth from a decade ago. The old fear was that you had to build 2 totally separate apps, one for iPhone, one for Android. Double the work, double the cost. But that's just not how it works anymore. Modern tools like Flutter or React Native let developers write the code once, and it runs beautifully on both platforms. That alone slashes that initial investment.
Okay, so that brings us to the second big illusion, the illusion of control. When an AI builds your app for you on one of these third-party platforms, you have to stop and ask a really important question. Who's actually in charge here? And this right here, this is the heart of the issue. With a PWA platform, everything, your business logic, your secret sauce, and most importantly, your customer data, it all lives on their servers. You are putting 100% of your trust in them. With a native app, you control everything. You decide where the data is stored, you decide who gets to see it, and you decide how it's protected. If you have any kind of sensitive information, this is a night and day difference. And this dependency, it creates a really dangerous trap. Here's how it goes. First, you use the AI to build something cool. No tech skills needed. Then, you start to rely on it, building your business processes around it. But then, you hit a wall. Maybe there's a feature you can't add, or the costs are getting out of control, or you have a security scare. And that's when it hits you. You're completely stuck. You don't own the system, and you don't understand it, so you have no way to get out. You end up depending on them in ways you never even thought about. If their website goes down, guess what? Your app goes down. If their servers are slow, your users get frustrated. They can push an update that completely breaks how you do things, with no warning. And the scariest one? If they get bought or just go out of business, your entire app, a critical part of your business, could literally vanish overnight.
Which brings us to our final and maybe the most critical illusion of all, security. The way these two approaches handle risk is fundamentally different, and the consequences, they're just enormous.
So let's think like a hacker for a second. If you're a bad guy, a PWA platform is this giant, juicy, high-value target. Why? Because if you can breach that one platform, you get the data from every single customer all at once. It's one target for thousands of victims. Now, hacking your individual native app, well, all they get is your data. The payoff is so much smaller. The incentive to go after that big centralized platform is just off the charts.
This centralized risk is a huge deal. That one platform becomes a magnet for the best hackers in the world. A single breach can cascade out and hit thousands of companies, just like we saw with the SolarWinds hack. One tiny crack in the foundation brought down countless organizations. And because you're all sharing the same digital roof, a weakness in some other customer's app could end up being the backdoor they use to get to you.
Okay, so now that we've kind of shattered these illusions, how do you actually make the right choice? Well, it all comes down to asking the right questions before you let the AI start building anything.
First off, you have to think long-term about the money. Don't get distracted by that low monthly fee. Do the math, figure out the total cost over 5 years, and really think about how that number is going to change as your business gets bigger and you add more users.
Next up, data. This is a huge one. Are you in a field with lots of regulations, like healthcare or finance? Do you handle sensitive customer info? If you do, you have to know exactly where that data lives and who can touch it. Are you truly okay with handing over control of your most valuable asset to another company?
And then there's risk. Be honest with yourself. How essential is this app to your day-to-day operations? If that PWA platform just vanished tomorrow, would your business grind to a complete halt? If the answer is yes, you need to think really hard about that dependency.
And finally, this is the big one. The question isn't whether AI can build the app. We know it can. The real question is whether you or someone on your team has the knowledge to actually maintain, secure, and grow what that AI created.
Because this slide really gets to the core of it all. For someone who isn't technical, AI on a PWA platform often just creates dependency. It hides all the messy, complex stuff, which feels great at first, but it leaves you with a black box that you can't fix and you don't control. For a technical pro, though, AI is a force multiplier. It lets them build things way faster, but they never lose that fundamental control and understanding of the system.
And that is the ultimate takeaway here. AI is an absolutely revolutionary tool, there's no doubt about it. But it doesn't make understanding technology obsolete. It just changes where that understanding is most important. So before you go type that prompt into an AI, just ask yourself this. Are you building a powerful tool that you control, or are you building a dependency that controls you?